Hello, my dudes, and welcome back to the Mikey and the Press Pass podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm David.
Whoa.
Trying to change it up on the intro a little bit.
Yeah. So how's your week?
Ups and downs, man.
Uh-huh.
A little more free time this week.
A lot of touchdowns and holes in ones, huh?
Holes in one. Hole in ones. Holes in one.
Sure.
Wayne Gretzky got his first hole in one this week.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Must be the greatest.
His old lady posted it on Instagram.
Uh-huh. Was she like 25?
No, man, he's been married to her since he lived in LA. It's what's her name? What's her name? Not Christy Brinkley. It's just some like famous model chick from the fucking 80s.
Okay.
No, his daughter's like 25.
Uh-huh.
She's marrying that what's his name? DJ
Khaled?
something.
Oh, no.
I don't remember. He's a golfer. He's a pro golfer. He just shot like the best score ever at the Masters. Shot like 20 under or some shit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of controversy with that, too.
With him shooting a 20 under?
Yeah, because it wasn't the same time of year they usually shoot it or have that tournament. So it was more the greens were a little bit more favorable to play on because it was wetter.
Well, then they shouldn't. If they were going to criticize the score, then they shouldn't have had it at that time of year.
I completely agree.
It's fucking stupid.
Uh-huh. Anyways, how's your week?
Yeah, pretty good, I guess, man. Catching up on some TV shows and movies, and I haven't been reading as much as I want to, but Bailey's back here at the shop. I owe you $1, Bailey.
Uh-huh.
So
his people contact our people.
Yeah, so taking a little bit of break from that, so have a little bit of more free time. That's cool. Been doing some debate stuff with Chris, D&D. Most of the usual suspects, just in different proportions. And I made chili today, as you're aware.
Cornbread.
Yeah, I fucking, dude, I just murdered chili.
Uh-huh.
I just fucking murdered it. Like,
I
had a bowl like this big of fucking chili, like just like 2 giant ladles, like 2 things of cornbread muffin. And I ate the whole thing in like probably 5 minutes. This is like,
He's just like a dog.
Yeah, kind of. I haven't had, last time I had chili was right after I had my teeth pulled. And so the time before that I had it was like winter last year. So last time I wasn't really able to enjoy it that much because, my mouth was all sensitive to heat and shit and bleeding. But this time it was open field. I was fucking murdered that shit. I was like, oh man, chili good. So, it's good times. But I don't know, what about you? Do anything new?
No, I just had my winter break.
Yeah, winding down.
Yeah, winding down right now. We were talking about earlier in the week where like the first 3 days, like, oh, this is awesome, man. But after,
I thought you said the first 3 days you were like, oh, I'm ready to go back to work, and then after like
into the 3, you're like, yeah, this is pretty awesome. 4th, 5 was like, I don't want to do this. I want to go back and do something. And then now it's like, fuck, that was not enough time.
Yeah, you got to get over that hump.
Yeah,
you got to get over that bum hump.
Yeah,
it's like you ever like not have anything to do, and then you're just like, you resolve the night before, like, I'm gonna sleep in tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you'll wake up after like a normal amount of time, like 6 hours. You'll look over and you'll be like, fuck that, I ain't getting up. I told myself I'm sleeping in. And then you sleep in for a little while longer. It's like 8.5 hours. You got to get over that hump. You got to get that fucking like 10, 11 hour hump.
No, for me, it's like I have to take a piss. I'm like, I can't hold it any longer. And after that, I'm up. I'm like, this is pointless to stay in bed.
You don't pee right before you go to bed? It's like the last thing I do. I'm always worried I'm going to have to piss like a racehorse and it's going to interrupt my sleep.
I do usually take a piss before I go to sleep.
Yeah, I guess you drink a lot of fluid during the day, but I figure like you purge it out. Like I usually can get through a normal night's of sleep. Like if I'm sleeping in, yeah, I gotta get up and probably take a pee. But,
yeah.
But I can usually get through a normal night of sleep without having to. I always worry that it's gonna be like halfway through sleeping and I'm gonna have to pee really bad. And you get in that like limbo where it's like you have to pee, but like you're too sleepy to get up and go pee, so you'd just rather be restless than like get up. And it's totally irrational.
It doesn't make any sense at all. But like, the comfort is like, I'm comfortable.
Yeah, you're like, oh, maybe body will just stop telling me
maybe
I have
I'll
to
piss
pee.
in my bed.
Yeah,
it's my bed.
Yeah, I got someone sleeps in my bed with me. And I can tell you from experience, does not appreciate when I urinate all over the place.
Apparently, change your plans last week, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to podcast it on Christmas Day because on Saturday, Diana and I were supposed to go to a hotel.
Was it Christmas Day?
Yeah, it was Christmas Day.
Oh yeah, it was Christmas Day. Yeah.
And then I had like a lot of the Macallan, and I came home. She got really mad at me.
When that boy comes home with all that whiskey, you know, it gets all crazy.
To be fair, I think it was the Uber drivers driving that did it. Because I didn't like, I mean, you weren't terribly drunk, were you? I mean, you're probably a little drunk.
I was fine. Like, I had a buzz.
Yeah, I was pretty tipsy, but like, not, like, I shouldn't have drove home. Like, last time we had that much Macallan, I drove home and I was like, I should not have drove home.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, like...
Did I hit something?
I didn't even know. I was like, the only reason my mirror was missing, and so I was like, did I hit something on the way home? And I was like, it's bad that I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's not good.
Yeah.
So we had Christmas, and I was like equally drunk, and that night I didn't get sick or anything like that. But man, I got home and I like ended up horking.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah. And the old lady was displeased with me, so we didn't end up going to do the thing we were gonna do.
Arms folded near the doorway of the bathroom.
She was very mad at me. And then I was just like, okay.
Oops.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what you're mad about, but
forgive me, Charlie Murphy. I was having too much fun.
I was having too much fun. Yeah, exactly.
But I got the medicine you need.
But no, so whatever, you know, we live together, so we really don't have any choice but to make up eventually. Otherwise, either that or break up, and we're not going to do that. So we ended up going. We went and stayed on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty cool, but it was basically, it was funny. It was like, we're like sitting there like watching TV and like got some Shake Shack, like eating Shake Shack. And it's just like any other night at home, but we're just in a hotel. So it was like,
oh, the murder hotel.
Yeah. Apparently, you told me it was like some sort of like, used to be some sort of crack den or something.
Yeah, a lot of prostitutes and murders happen in that place.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
actually helped furnish that place when it first got in operation.
Yeah, and Beto used to work there apparently.
Yeah, it's weird. That one. Shout out to Palms.
Wild Palms.
Wild Palms.
I like it.
Good times.
It's a pretty reasonably priced hotel, and it's different. It's not like it's like got like its own little character, kind of like an island thing. We sat in the hot tub for like an inordinate amount of time.
Oh, did it make you sweat?
I did find myself going, you know, this is why I'm hot.
This
is why I'm hot.
Get you wet?
Get me wet in the hot tub. No, there's like other couple that was visiting San Jose, came and joined us in the hot tub.
Oh, the public hot tub.
Yeah, it's a public.
I thought you meant like in the room they had a hot tub.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a public hot tub by the pool, and I didn't anticipate anybody being there because there was hardly anybody else in the hotel.
You guys like swinging?
You know, there was a moment where I thought maybe.
You want to check out my dick?
I was like, there was a moment where I was like,
hey, anybody want to check out my dick or what?
Are they, these people coming on to me? Or coming on to my girlfriend is probably more likely. But, yeah, so we ended up talking to them for a while, and that was interesting. They're from Portland. They're thinking about moving to San Jose.
Oh, weird. That's a weird thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know. So they were just like asking us a bunch of questions about what it's like living in San Jose, and the conversation where they were like, they kept talking about like, they were asking about like the social scene and stuff, and they're like, well, how is it to like make friends? And I'm like, I don't know,
friends?
You're asking the wrong person, you know. And they were just talking about like how like, yeah, it's like hard to make friends, you know, like da 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 da. And then we got back to the hotel room, and Diane was like, was that like our cue to be like, hey, like you want to be our friend? And I was like, I don't know, but that wasn't like a thing that was gonna happen.
The books are closed, my friend. Yeah. I mean, not friend.
I mean, we talked to him for probably like almost 2 hours, so there's that.
Damn, you got all wrinkly and shit.
Yeah, super wrinkly. But yeah, so that was something. I don't know. It was kind of funny too because it said something about like people being like white trash, and they were kind of white trash. And so I didn't know what to say. I was like, "Hey, I'm white trash." She's like, "Well, no, you know, like that." And I was like, But they were kind of like white trashy. Like the guy had like a missing front tooth, and the chick had like this prison-looking tattoo on her fucking back. Like, okay. It's just like they were just, you know, I mean, they were cool people, but they were kind of trashy. They're like my people, like, my people. And I was like, yeah, home team, you know, white trash. But yeah, it was just kind of weird. But yeah. So that was that. Was most of my week.
Some things I watched. I watched a fair amount of stuff during this week.
This is the what you did this week?
Yeah.
Watched. All right. Lay it on me.
Let's head off with Tenet. I don't know if you got to see. Did you have a chance to see Tenet?
We were supposed to watch it in the hotel, and then I totally forgot about it.
Okay. Then we won't talk about it.
Okay. Enemy is dope.
Yeah, it's dope as fuck.
It's fucking weird, but it's dope.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where I kind of regretted watching it at the shop.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those films you do need to pay attention to. And I felt really dumb for looking up stuff. Because, like, usually I don't look up things. Because I needed to know a few things. Yeah.
Like what in particular?
The whole, like, sex club thing. Where did that tie in?
Oh yeah, you must have just you probably just weren't able to pay attention.
Yeah, I wasn't able to pay attention to a lot of the stuff. And then there's a few things where I usually don't well, I took everything at face value for some reason. I don't know why I did.
Oh yeah.
And this is the movie that you shouldn't.
No, absolutely not. It's highly allegorical.
Yeah.
It's so yeah, I think the biggest ambiguity is whether there are actually two of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah, there's an ambiguity to that, but
yeah, like whether that's like a real thing or if it's just kind of represents the same character at different points in his life.
Yeah.
Or like, you know,
he has like some sort of split personality
or something, right? Like
help him deal with like.
I would venture to guess that it would, rather than it being kind of like a Fight Club situation, I would venture to guess that it's probably like one character is the guy he used to be before he was like married, and then the other guy is like a representation of like who he is now that he's married, and the whole end of the movie kind of indicates that he's like cycling back around to like his initial self.
Yeah.
And so there's really not a lot of clarity. I mean, in a nutshell, the whole movie is basically about a lot of parallels between like marriage and totalitarianism, right? And there's a lot of parallels with that, and especially like all the spider imagery like plays into some like Greek mythology stuff that really is not really related to the film, and I'm just like a big Greek mythology nerd, so like
from what I've seen, there was more of an analogy of like a Black Widow killing the male after, you know.
Right. But then there's all, do you know the story of Arachnia?
No.
Okay, so Arachnia was like a weaver. She was like a master weaver, and she like, I'm gonna mess this up. I'm sure I'm gonna mess it up.
Wrong.
She was like this master weaver, and she like Athena did not like that she had like all this hubris about being a master weaver.
She was a super hater,
and she was a hater. She had that haterade all over the place. So she turns Arachnia into a spider and like destines her to like just like weave eternally, right? So there's like some of that themes in the movie, especially like because there's like this weird theme of totalitarianism and like, you know, the banality of life and the quietness on which totalitarianism like wells up on you, and then that's either may or may not play into the concept of marriage. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on, but it's a good movie. It's super thought-provoking. It's well shot.
Yeah.
It's super well acted.
Super well shot.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff is like, dude, this guy has chops, dude. The whole like middle shot of him and his wife talking, then it's a wide of her pregnant. It's like, damn, that was really fucking good.
Yeah. The one thing that really did throw me for a loop the first time I watched it, before I realized like whether it was allegorical, because there are scenes in the movie where it's like he seemingly snaps back between like dreaming about something and something being real. But then there's this scene randomly in the middle of the movie with this like giant spider monster like crawling like amidst the city.
That could have been like a analogy to the mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Or like, or as it all plays into the specter of totalitarianism, right? It's not necessarily marriage, but like maternal totalitarianism, both on the aspect of his mother.
Because you see the way that she treated him.
Yeah. And when you bring the mother's interplay into it, it becomes even less clear whether there are actually two people. You get the impression that maybe there are not. But yeah,
I got that kind of solidified in my head that they were the same person. That he just blocks off one section in his memory, like for him, he's a different person when he cheats. He's not the husband. He's somebody else.
Right.
So the whole like blending of your teacher, give up that silly idea of being an actor.
Yeah.
All that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but to me that could it could just be a past present sort of situation, but they're not happening concurrently. Yeah, I don't know, like it's a really layered movie.
You think that, huh? I think it's happening at the same time.
I think it's possible that that they're happening concurrently, but that I think it's also possible that it's like
it was
a specter of his former self in a weird way. Maybe in a supernatural way, maybe not in a supernatural way. And so that's
and it's very revealing too, like the idea of, or the acting on the wife's part. Like, she's very heartbroken when he visits him at work.
Yeah.
And then husband's asked, what's her problem? She's just broken up. And then, like, at that stage of the movie, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, there's a lot of things where you find yourself like going like, wait, I gotta unpack that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to unpack.
And I watched it again with Diana and still didn't like, I thought about it a long time and then forgot about the movie and then watched it again. And then yeah, she's like, yeah, this movie's weird. I was like, yeah, wait till the last shot of the movie. I fucking feel like it's super weird.
It fucking broke my head.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yep.
No spoilers, but yeah. It's a definite watch.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah. And it's a short movie, too.
Yeah, I think that was the first movie where I was like, all right, this guy is like, fuck, I got some serious directing capabilities. I was kind of on that bandwagon. And then but I was kind of glad, too, though, that it wasn't that all of his movies aren't that weird, because it's like if that's your starting point and you're gonna get more weird than that, like directors usually just get more weird the longer they're around. But apparently I learned that all that stuff with like all that spider imagery and all of that like the themes of like totalitarianism and like, you know, the role of like women and like the dichotomy between men and women, none of that's in the book.
Oh, really?
It's all Denis Villeneuve. Like, and because it was funny because we were watching the end credits of that movie when Diana and I watched it, and which reminds me, she's about due to text me and I should silence my phone.
Damn it.
We were watching it and she was like, it tells you like you're based on the book by, and I don't remember the guy's name, but she's like, oh, of course it's by that guy. And I'm like, what? She's like, that's the guy that wrote that blindness book that I was telling you about. And I was like,
huh?
She's like, it's this book called, I think it's just called Blindness. And she's like, and you read this book and after about 50 or 60 pages, you just feel like you're blind. Like it's just a total fucking mind fuck of a book. And she's like, so of course this is based on one of his books. Like, of course it is. This is weird, batshit crazy stuff.
Of course it is. Of course.
But no, apparently it's just a more straightforward doppelganger story.
Oh, okay.
It's not as layered. It's more like Dostoevsky's The Double or something like that. Which isn't as interesting to me. But yeah, I really like that movie. It's not a movie you can usually turn people onto. And because they'll just be like, what did you just do to me? Although I feel like Bailey probably really dug it. I owe you another $1.
Yeah, he did like it.
Yeah. It just seems like the right level of weird. It just seems like his wavelength of weird. And I feel like I have a pretty good instinct about what's like on his wavelength of weird. I turned him on to Twin Peaks and it was like his favorite thing on the planet now.
The other thing is too weird.
Yeah, Twin Peaks is too weird.
It's too weird. I don't get it.
But Enemy is just weird enough.
He did another one, Prisoner? Or is that somebody else?
Did another one what?
Villeneuve?
He's done a lot of other movies. Yeah, he did Prisoner.
No, yeah, that's why I'm asking. Did he do Prisoner?
Yeah, he did Prisoners.
Prisoners?
Plural. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, in it too.
Yeah.
He's done
big old crazy eyes.
Yeah, I think he's done 3 movies with Jake Gyllenhaal. He did that one, and then what another movie he did? Maybe he only did 2. But that's got Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman. And I feel like somebody else that's pretty good. That movie's really good too. It's a really sleepy, underrated movie. But yeah, Enemy is like, I think he did Prisoners was a follow-up to that.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, so moving on.
Just finished season 2 of What We Do in the Shadows. Very good. So good.
I still haven't finished season 1. Season 1's good.
That's another recommendation from me. Cleared that up. Played more Cyberpunk.
Yeah. I'm not into it anymore.
No, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was testing out another cloud gaming thing, Shadow PC. That thing's awesome too. Technology's awesome. There's a computer in the clouds just for me.
It's a computer in the cloud?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a computer not near you.
Yes.
It's a computer located elsewhere.
Uh-huh. And something not too good. Wonder Woman 1984. It was kind of a meh thing. I thought
the first one was kind of a meh. Like, I feel that way about most Marvel movies. They're just kind of a meh. Like, every now and again one comes out.
How dare you?
What?
Not Marvel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Comic book movies in general. I'm just so used to saying Marvel movies because they're mostly Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's one of the better DC movies, but still, meh.
Yeah, it was a better one because it was not so brooding. Kind of took little pieces from, Captain America. Except in World War One.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know what the premise is.
What?
Why is it called Wonder Woman 84?
Because it happened in 1984. I don't know why they chose that title.
Wait, so it's just like they just go back in time?
No, well, it's set like it's happening in 1984. Because the other one happened in World War One. This one's happening in 1984.
But there's like a 45-year difference. Is Wonder Woman just ageless? Like she doesn't age?
She's a god.
She's an Amazon.
She's a god.
No, Thor is a god.
Yeah, but that's Marvel.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what the thing is in that universe.
I don't remember Wonder Woman
because she's in World War One, and then she's in like Justice League. Like, why are you here? Just here, hanging out. She's like in pictures and like in like the history books and shit. Yeah. So basically,
they did not make women like that back in World War One. Well, then again, she's supposed to be an Amazon, so whatever.
And it's kind of funny. The depiction of the 80s is like that photo you showed me of like what kids think of what the 80s were. Like bright, like neon pastel.
And then what people actually wore is like more like the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Like it's look more or less like kids today.
Yeah.
It's just the extremes are more.
Yeah, it's kind of what I imagine what I think the 70s is. But what the reality of it is like, it's kind of normal.
Yeah, I don't really have a baseline for that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not that 70s show.
No. But if you watch movies and stuff and TV shows and shit from the 70s, it is a little more, butterfly collar, leisure suits, perms, and shit like you would expect it to be.
Yeah, but that's like the most fashionable of the people of that time. Just like, TV now.
Exactly, yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, before we move off the topic of Wonder Woman, did you see that you know how HBO, like, anytime they're, like, when Raised by Wolf came out, they had, like, a whole Ridley Scott selects list of, like, movies that Ridley Scott likes that are on HBO. So they did one for Gal Gadot, and apparently she's got pretty good taste in movies, at least if that's to be believed. Okay. I mean, or her agent does, or whoever selects movies for her. I was like, all right, yeah.
What, a gal can't, like movies or what?
I didn't say that. She has good taste. It was a compliment. It was a nice thing. She's beautiful, and she has great...
you can't believe what you think.
Well, it's not like she's in a lot of good movies. If you told me DiCaprio had good taste in movies, I'm like, yeah, guys, is fucking... And he obviously knows a good movie and gets put in good movies. Like, so... Great, here's Humphrey Bogart's picks for great movies. Like, that guy fucking rules. But if it were like, I don't know, like who's a fucking Megan Fox was like, oh, I really like the break.
Apparently she's real bookish. She's like, she's a big reader.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like,
but like, you know, she's like in the Transformers movies, and then she's like, you know, I really like Bridge Over River Quad, and like, you know, Last Tango in Paris, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, it's like no one wants to put me in serious roles because look at this.
Yeah.
Those are gonna take me seriously.
Well, I don't think she's any hotter than Gal Gadot or Natalie Portman or Scarlett Johansson or fucking Saoirse Ronan or Keira Knightley. You know, all those chicks are really talented, so you know they're not mutually exclusive. You can be talented and hot. That's allowed.
Yeah.
You know, or you can be very unattractive and talented, like one of my favorite actresses, Kathy Bates. I love Kathy Bates in almost like everything.
Yeah,
like,
she's good. She's
a great actress, man. Like, she's so good.
Who's the guy that died from heroin?
Kurt Cobain.
No. He shot himself in the head.
Says you. The guy that Philip Seymour Hoffman.
There we go.
Yeah.
Him. Super talented.
Yeah, very talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, but guys don't have to be handsome.
That's true.
Like, they can be fucking...
just interesting.
Yeah, Danny DeVito proved that. Like,
yeah.
Danny DeVito's awesome, but like...
Apparently he got divorced from his wife because he's like, you know, slinging dick.
Good for him.
I was like, okay, good on you.
He's like, you don't understand, I married you before I realized, like, what a pussy magnet all this famous shit is.
Yeah.
He's super small, so however big his dick is, I'm sure it looks huge.
Look like a tripod. Looks like a baby holding an apple.
Yeah. Anyway, what else? Moving on.
Good news, everyone.
I don't know if it's good news, but you have any news? Forgot to pull up on my phone.
Should have asked me that before you played the news segment.
Well, I'll lead it off.
Okay.
Come on, fuck. God.
All right, I'll just okay. So, is staying in the super middleweight division and is vacating his crown for the middleweight after the middleweight division after his decisive victory over Colin Smith.
Beat the brakes off him.
Yep. So it looks like he's taking a play out of your old book and saying like, yeah, you know, I don't need that shit no more. I'm a super middleweight now. So we'll see how that goes.
So just vacate, not go up and down. Just vacate it and just go up.
Yeah, he's just going to stay at super middleweight now, I guess. So he's just like says he has no more intention of fighting at middleweight. Like basically he's like, yeah, no one can beat me in that weight class, and I'm going to move up to super middleweight, and I'm going to go for that crown. Because otherwise he would have like mandatory fights, and he doesn't want to fuck with that.
Yeah,
so he's
a smart move.
Yeah, yep. So he's going for the crown there into another weight division. That's cool.
Is he like unified champ in the middleweight division?
I don't think so. I don't think there are no unified champs in any of the weight divisions. I don't think there's been a unified champ since Tyson, maybe. It's been a long time. Klitschko had 2 of the or 3 of the 4 at one point. And then for a long time, the other one was held by his brother. So you're like, okay, that's not ever going to fucking happen. So it's like, and then that vacated and someone else got that. And then he lost one and then back and forth and back and forth. There's just too many of them now. They had the Ring Magazine Championships. There was like 4 sanctioning bodies in Ring Mag, like 5 fucking crowns.
Yeah, boxing is kind of diluted.
It's stupid. Yeah. It's fucking stupid. Somebody should just get the gumption to like fucking unify. Because I think the welterweight, that's why I'm like skeptical that Errol Spence Jr. and Bud Crawford are going to fight, because I think that between the two of them, they have all of the all of the welterweight crowns. I think they have 2 and 2. So if they were to fight, it would be a unified fight. It would it would unify like all 4 of those crowns.
Yeah. You think it's just bad business to have a unified champion?
I think that's what it is, and boxing is super fucking corrupt.
Yeah.
So they just don't want to do that. They don't want to do that.
Makes sense.
Anyway.
Not doesn't make sense, but I see why they would do that.
Well, not to mention it's just like crowns notwithstanding, like you usually know who the best guys are. Like whoever fucking has the crown, it doesn't make a fucking difference. Like I don't know if Tyson Fury has any, or he has 2 or 3 of the crowns right now, but he could have 0 and I still would just know that he's the best heavyweight out there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't make a difference, because anybody that sees that guy fight knows like crowns or not crowns. This way, and like the fighters a lot of times don't even give a shit either. Yeah. Like sometimes they'll like who was it? Might have been fucking Holyfield or Lennox Lewis. Like one of them had like 2 heavyweight belts, And they wanted to fight some other guy, like they wanted to fight the other one. Oh, I want to fight Holyfield. They're like, no, your mandatory title defense is against this guy, or you lose your belt. So he's like, oh, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to fight this guy because this guy is awesome, and I want to make a shitload of money fighting him. And like this guy is like, I don't want to do that. So you just have these back or whatever. Tigers, right? Like,
yeah, you're kind of seeing a sprinkling of that happening with the UFC because you got like a lot older veterans in the sport not able to compete with the younger kids, and they're just looking for money fights, like really big name fights or super fights or whatever. So
in other words, they make money moves.
Yeah. Next up, fast food chain KFC has launched a new Intel-powered gaming console.
What?
That comes with a built-in chicken chamber to keep your snacks warm.
This is like those Pizza Hut shoes or whatever they were.
What the fuck was that? And then you press a button
and it just orders a pizza.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's fucking dope.
It's a legit console.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a PC. I think it's on top of a. Yeah, it's a chicken bucket shaped console, and the PC's on the bottom of it, and then the cooling system is built into the chamber to warm your chicken.
All right, KFC, get behind that. Where you at, Popeyes?
I know, damn. Yeah,
because generally speaking, Popeyes is a better chicken chain.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, just across the board. There's not even any fucking question. Popeyes dunks on KFC, but they step in their game up.
Yeah, and then there was like someone faked a. They call it a McRig. It looked like like the burger box. But it was like piano black, had like McRig on it.
Like it was a machine.
Yeah, it was like a PC, but it was a fake one. I was like, damn, that it'd been a dope console wars thing. The fast food wars and the console wars.
Yeah, this is 2 weeks in a row we have some sort of fast food news.
Food news.
Well, we can't talk about Totino's pizza rolls anymore because they don't want to sponsor us. Get on it, Pizza Roll.
That guy's awesome.
That guy is awesome. Although they post some weird shit on their fucking Instagram, man.
Yeah. Anyway. What else you got?
That was all I had. I didn't have any other news this week.
Mother and daughter who unwillingly took a World War II grenade home from the beach escaped the kitchen. A mother and daughter are lucky to be alive after 80-year-old World War II grenade they found on the beach exploded in their kitchen.
Did they take the pin out of it?
Was it Jody Crew, 38, and her daughter Isabel, 8, of Deal, Kent, initially thought the grenade was a fossil old bone. Crew said, I posted photos on fossils and archaeological sites and had their replies, but no one suggested it could be a grenade. One woman thought it could be whale vomit and said I could find out by poking it with a hot pin. See if white smoke comes out.
Fun. It's a dinosaur turd.
They probably thought it was like whale gristle or whatever it was called.
Ambergris.
Ambergris, there we go. Apparently you can't keep it even if you find it. You have to turn it in.
It's like super valuable.
Yeah. It smells really gross from what I heard.
Yeah. But like, I think because it smells gross, but like you can
break it down into the stuff that you make perfume.
Yeah, and it creates a very long like flavor scent. Yeah, and so they just hide it with other stuff. Yeah, that's a fucking weird story. So were they in the kitchen and then they just like left the kitchen and it blew the fuck up?
Yeah, I guess she was like playing with her daughter. See it started smoking, so she just grabbed it and put it outside. Or she tried to put water. Oh, come on. Yeah, she grabbed it and then took her kid out and then was like, "Oh shit, my cat's in there!" And she went over there and grabbed her cat, and that's about it. It just kind of smoked up and.
What did it explode?
No, not explode. I guess misleading because it didn't really explode. It just smoked and made a lot of mess.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like a violent explosion. It
No.
just kind of was like slopped out of there like a lazy money shot.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyway. Yeah.
Canadian officials warn drivers not to let moose lick their cars. That's about the headline.
I don't understand why you would let a moose lick your car.
I don't know. Moose will lick your car because there's salt on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know why you'd be like, come on, buddy. You want to lick my car? Come
Moose
on.
are fucking scary, dude.
Yeah, they are.
They're huge.
Have you seen that video where it was like 5 feet of snow and it's like just running down something is like as fast as a car?
Yeah, they're humongous and they're fast.
Yeah.
And they're aggressive.
They'll gore you.
Yeah. They wouldn't even have to try to gore you.
They'll probably just step on you.
Yeah. But yeah, its fucking antlers are like this big. It's like what a weird animal. What the hell? Like,
it's like a forest horse or something like that.
Yeah, like what
That's
is
basically what it is?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, and the thing is like,
what's its purpose?
Well, okay, so why do they develop like evolutionarily like that? Like, what are the antlers to fight off? Because anything that's big enough to fucking kill a moose, that's not really doing anything.
Probably more for like other males, like fuck you. And, like,
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, because they're big, so they need bigger antlers.
But like, yeah, like what eat moose besides grizzlies?
Wolverines? I don't know.
Wolverine's not taking down a fucking moose, dude. Wolverines are little; they're like this big.
Oh, I thought they fuck up a lot of things.
They do fuck up a lot of things, but they're like this big.
Oh, I thought they were bigger.
I mean, they can get like this big, but they're not like much bigger than like a honey badger.
Yeah. Honey badgers are dope.
Yeah, Wolverines are like the Canadian
version,
Michigan equivalent of a honey badger.
Did you say they're super weird? I mean, super rare to see.
Yeah, it's the Michigan state animal, but you basically don't ever see them outside of the UP.
Yeah,
which is Canada. There's more Wolverines in Canada than there is in Michigan. It's our state animal.
It's like a California. We have a grizzly bear on our flag.
Yeah,
grizzly bears haven't been around for like 100-something years.
Yeah, I always thought that was kind of weird too. I was like, are there grizzly bears in California?
Not anymore.
Like, I wouldn't think there were, but what the fuck do I know? It's not like I go to the state parks or anything. I mean, I hear people talking about black bears and stuff.
Yeah.
But those aren't nearly as scary as grizzly bears.
Black bears.
Comparatively, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like adorable by comparison.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we have those in Michigan all over the place. Like,
aren't they more of a nuisance? They just go through your trash. And...
yeah, they're basically just giant raccoons.
Yeah. Get out of there.
But they're super fast. I don't know if people know this. Oh. Like black bears are really fast.
Oh, okay.
And they can climb super well.
Yeah, there's a video out there where there's a guy, he's up in a blind. I think he's going to shoot a bear. And the bear sees him and just fucking climbs up there and just like looks into the blind.
You'll see them like going from running to just climbing, and they really don't seem to even slow down. It's just like, like just the same clip that they're running. They just right up the side of the tree like it's like a Jamiroquai video or something.
Yeah.
It's an old reference for you guys, in case you don't know. Old school.
Do you know any other Jamiroquai songs other than...
I do not.
Oh, okay.
You know what's weird, though, is my ex-girlfriend, Karina, was a big Jamiroquai fan.
She had a big old hat.
She might have had one. She never wore it, though.
Oh.
But she liked Jamiroquai a lot.
Uh-huh.
And,
apparently they have a huge, like, following.
Yeah, it was right around the time that song came out, but she had been a fan of them for a few years prior to that. And so I should know other songs by them, but I don't. I wasn't a big fan of the one hit that they had. I can't even... It's Virtual Insanity, right? Just the video. It's just like, can you name another Fatboy Slim song? Other than the one where Christopher Walken is dancing all over the place?
Weapons of Destruction?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. No.
Yep.
I don't listen to that type of music.
Neither do I.
I don't even know a Moby song.
Yep, I was going to say, Moby's like another one. There's like a couple of Moby songs. Like, he had that one album where like every single song he just sold to a commercial of some sort.
For the longest time, I saw Beck on MTV. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? They always invite him in like talking head segments. Yeah, it was this weird redhead, and it was Beck. I didn't know that for the longest time.
Oh, you like just didn't know what he looked like?
Yeah, I heard that one song. Was it Loser?
Oh, he had a lot of songs that were popular.
I'm a loser, baby.
Yeah,
that one. I knew that, but other than that, I was like, who is this person? Why are they here?
Well, there were like 4 or 5 singles on that album. That album was like really fucking big when it came out.
Oh yeah, it was huge.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm drawing a blank on any of the other singles.
Oh, that also reminds me. I was watching a couple, went to a YouTube rabbit hole, and there's a producer called Jay Dilla, and he's like renowned as like one of the greatest like hip hop producers, musicians, in modern history. And I was like, I don't think I know any songs he produced. No, I know most of them. I just didn't know who produced the song.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of hip hop artists or whatever, apparently MF Doom's been dead for like 3 months.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. I don't understand.
It's weird that he's been dead for like 3 months and no one knew.
Yeah.
That's what's weird.
Yeah.
Not that he is dead.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's not super old, but, yeah.
Fighting is like mid-40s, late 40s?
It was like late 40s, early 50s.
Something like that.
I mean, he seems older because he's been around for fucking ever.
Yeah, it's the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was weird. And a lot of people thought it was like a stunt.
Like a hoax?
Yeah, because like he's MF Doom, the mad villain, and he's like he had Hamill Burris go up on stage for him. And they just act like he's rapping, and he was never there on stage.
He just had the mask on.
Yeah, the mask on and started rapping.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
I don't even know what he died of. Like,
I have no idea. I didn't see how he died.
I don't remember either.
Yeah.
I thought I remembered, but then like we're talking about somebody who died, so I don't want to like misspeak and be totally wrong.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, he was like jerking off a fucking like ostrich and it kicked him in the face or something.
It's like David Carradine. Did you hear the whole thing where he died from erotic asphyxiation?
Yeah, autoerotic asphyxiation.
And and then the family's like, no, it was the Yakuza. He was too close to the Yakuza. He was gonna uncover something, and they killed him and made it look like he did that.
Oh, okay. A little swipe of Occam's razor there, but that's cool. He wasn't even the first really famous guy to die from that, so that's.
I'm trying to think who was the other guy that did that.
The lead singer of NXS died that way.
Oh yeah, I don't listen to that music.
Well, but that doesn't make him not famous.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know his name, so obviously he ain't that famous. But like, he's most known for dying of autoerotic asphyxiation.
Ooh, that's a rough way to go, or maybe the best way to go. I don't know.
I mean, it's got to be.
It must be super awesome.
Be something there because apparently people are willing to die for it. I guess.
Very weird.
Very weird. Anyway,
what you smoking on?
Nothing special.
Just it's a weird band. Huh? That's it?
What's it?
What's the name of the cigar?
Okay, rather than this turn into some sort of Abbott and Costello routine.
Okay. That's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Someone gave it to me at work today, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's like a Honda Impuro," and I was like,
"Ew,
it's pretty good."
Okay, yeah. Smoking Siempre. It's beginning to be a good heavy in the rotation now.
Yeah.
This box was smoking really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had one I was here the other day, and I was like, "Oh yeah, these are good."
Yeah. Oh, I did get woke on the
Padron, Connecticut.
Yes.
I saw that on Instagram. I was like, finally, someone else is like, man, these are fucking good.
That might take the crown. It's like, yeah, I was like thinking, is this better than the JJ or Davidoff? I don't know.
It's a fucking good cigar.
It's a really good cigar.
But you see what I mean about like it doesn't scratch the Padron itch. It's not
it's
like
a totally different cigar.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But it's like that the same level of quality is there. And
yeah.
People like Padron Connecticut's like they're fine. I was like, are you kidding me? That's what I would expect Padron to produce as a fucking Connecticut.
Yeah.
Connecticut's good.
Yeah, and they're like super hush hush. I'm like, what type of Connecticut is? Like, are you serious?
It's
Ecuadorian Connecticut.
It's an Ecuadorian Connecticut. Yeah.
There's no way it could be anything else.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know why they'd be so hush hush about it.
I don't know.
Well, I guess it was the same thing like a couple years back with Padron 2 with their.
There's a company that's like Padron 2.
Yes.
Padron 1 and Padron 2.
And the Vasarios were San Andreas Maduros.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, they were claiming all Nicaraguan. And then the secret came out. I was like, oh, I see what you did.
Undisclosed.
Yeah.
I don't get why companies do that. People that do that are assholes.
Yeah, it's like, what am I going to do? Go find that stuff myself and then make it?
The thing is, though, is I find it makes me wonder if maybe that is part of what it is. is that, like, haven't you noticed, we talked about this on several occasions on the podcast, which is that, like, certain types of wrapper leaves will be in vogue. And it usually is spurred by, I always thought that maybe it was that, like, the crop in a certain region is just growing well that year, but maybe it really is just, like, one cigar comes out, and it's really good, and it gets really popular, and then they say, like, oh, yeah, it's got the San Andreas Maduro wrapper on it.
Like, what?
And then, everybody just kind of floods to market, and then it makes it.
Yeah, that could be it.
So maybe they just do that, so they're like, because, well, let's see, when did Padron finally disclose that it was a San Andreas on the Aniversarios?
Probably 2010, 2012, somewhere around that area.
Right, and then look at all the cigars that hit the market like 2 or 3 years, like a year to 3 years later.
Yeah,
like everybody was producing San Andreas wrapper cigars, and so I can't think that that's a coincidence. It probably has something to do with it, and so maybe that's why they do that. But I feel like it's just a little asinine. Like if it's just, especially when they're like the whole this binder filler wrap. Oh no, it's all
tobacco
undisclosed.
It's so dumb.
It's like when you look at Curvari. Like it's funny because they started doing like, you know, like they'll have stuff on the box sometimes.
Yeah.
That like tells you what the blend is and the body and all that shit and origin, where it's from. And like so Curvari like was doing this a while ago. And I was like, why are they doing this? Because it's just like all of their stuff just says Nicaraguan on it.
Yeah.
It's like you're just gonna call everything Nicaraguan, and then you have like a couple of cigars like San Andreas wrapper or like, you know, a Connecticut wrapper or something. Name. But but that's it. Everything else is just like triple. It's like, okay, that's fine, but what's the point of like breaking out like the blend if it's all just gonna like read the same? Be like a Lugione original documents, like just like Nicaraguan.
Yeah. It's like, come on, man, like. Especially if you're like a big cigar nerd and you kind of see what the components are, like, oh, I might like that because I do like, you know, Ligero from the Jalapa Valley. They taste good. Generally, the cigars that do have that as their Ligero in that region, I do like.
Yeah. So
maybe I like this cigar rather than like Nicaraguan. Maybe that'd be good.
Yeah. It's like you're a Nicaraguan-based company, so I assume most of your tobacco is Nicaraguan. So that's that little like labeling thing. It seems like it would be for people that are like, oh, I like broadleaf binders, you know, and like try this. It's got a broadleaf binder on it or whatever, but not just Nicaraguan. Like that doesn't tell me any more than the name Joya de Nicaragua does.
Oh, has Nicaraguan tobacco?
I told you about that, didn't I?
What?
Man, this was like one of the dumbest things I've ever heard anybody ask me. I was helping this customer at Aloni. It was probably like 6-8 months ago at this point.
Was it worse as how long last me?
If I smoke a cigar a day.
Wait, how much?
It's not, I mean, you can't really get dumber than that. That's like saying, like, showing someone a mirror and they're just being like, who is that? That's like the only way you could get more dumb than that. But somebody was asking me about cigars, and it just so happened that they were asking me about, like, like, what's the difference between these two cigars? And I was like, well, I was explaining the difference in the profiles, and I was like, you know, they kind of have different profiles because they're from different regions. One's from Nicaragua and one's from the Dominican Republic. And they were like, well, which one is which? And I was like, you're asking between Joya de Nicaragua and La Flor Dominicana, which is from which region? Like I said that to him like that, and he was like, oh yeah, I guess that's kind of stupid to ask. And I was like, at least you realize that that's stupid to ask.
It's like, no, really, seriously.
Yeah. I was like, this is a Joya de Nicaragua, and this is a La Flor Dominicana. I didn't even see LFD or JDN. I said Joya de Nicaragua and La Flor Dominicana. And he was like, well, which one is the Dominican and which one's the Nicaraguan?
I don't know, man. It's a big secret.
Yep.
They don't like to advertise that stuff.
They won't tell us.
Yeah.
You know?
They're so hush-hush about it.
But, yeah. That's, oh, we skipped over. I forgot we were... It was like in the what were you doing this week? But like I watched some stuff this week too.
Oh yeah, okay, go ahead.
I forgot to tell you. So my recommendation for this week, which is jumping ahead a little bit, but The Queen's Gambit. I've been watching that on Netflix, and it's pretty solid. I'm 4 out of 7 episodes in.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. It's not really... You don't have to like chess to enjoy it, but I like chess, so it kind of helps me enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's kind of 1960s era. You know, mirrors our own world when chess was a big thing. You know, like Bobby Fischer and all that. But it's like in a world where those people don't exist. Like, so it supplants them with like a different narrative and different stuff. But it's a lot of like, especially if you like set design and wardrobe, it's a lot like, if you like Mad Men, then the aesthetic of this show will appeal to you because it's like a lot of that set design and like texture that Mad Men has that made it so sleek and cool that everybody liked it. The fucking Banana Republic had like a whole line of clothes that were like the Mad Men line. That's how fucking popular the fashion in that show was. Yeah. Yeah, like during that time it was like this whole like Mad Men like 60s mod inspired fucking clothes.
They have like a Soprano inspired gabagool. Get your gabagool.
Gabagool. They had a Soprano cigar.
Yeah. I had one guy, first time I've ever heard anybody say, I really like those Soprano cigars. I'm like, you're the first person I've ever heard someone say that.
I know people that like, well, they don't call it the Sopranos anymore,
like
but yeah.
Consigliere,
yeah. But like, yeah, I know people that like them.
Are you threatening me?
No, I just nice getting well hot. But yeah, so it's a good show. It's kind of that whole tortured genius. She's like this chess wonderkin, chess prodigy, whatever you want to call her, and then it has some of that like, you know, she's a woman in a man's world kind of thing. And it's the 60s.
Did they play James Brown?
It's a man's world. No, they don't.
Missed opportunity, guys.
Yeah. I mean,
come on, get on the ball.
Hey, I'm not done with the series yet.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That's like the last move.
Yeah,
it's a man's world. Check, mate.
But I like that
always been
element to the show. It's pretty good, and it's not like bang you in the head with like an SJW hammer kind of like gender dynamic shit. Like it's.
Yeah, I was kind of curious if that had that because you're talking. Really. I was like,
Nope, it doesn't. But from what I can tell, is it's pretty faithful to the book. So
written by
Walter Tevis, writer of The Hustler and Color of Money and The Man Who Fell to Earth, which, you know, whatever, I could take or leave The Man Who Fell to Earth, but you know, The fucking Hustler is like one of my favorite movies. I never read the book, but whatever. I feel like I can't read a book now that like I like the movie so much. Like
I wonder if it's like kind of Fight Club, where you watch the movie is so good, but the book is I can't understand how this got inspired. This inspired this art, right?
Yeah, that's what's.
Oh, hey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what's weird. Is like you like some things I've read, they get turned into movies, and I'm like, why did anyone ever think to turn this into a movie? This isn't even a particularly good book.
Yeah, like I Am Legend. I don't know why that short story turned into that movie.
Yeah.
Like the Omega Man was not a good movie to begin with anyway.
Yeah.
But to, you know,
at least I Am Legend is a little closer to the story.
Yeah.
Or you just look at like the adaptations of something like the Soylent Green movie based on the story that's based on is like just nothing. Nothing at all. Like
nothing burger.
Yeah, it's just nothing like the. I mean, I shouldn't say nothing, but the plot is not even the same. So that's just kind of weird. And some things you're just like, why did they make this into this thing? And then sometimes you think something wouldn't work, or how are they gonna make that into a thing? And then they do, and it's like, oh, it's pretty good. I feel like my mic is like not picking me up as much.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, Queen's Gambit, that's my rec for the week. It's definitely worth a watch. I mean, unless it shits the bed last few episodes.
Check it out.
Yeah, you should check it out. You should, yeah. It's pretty good. That should have been my pun.
Rook to E5.
Check. Yeah. So yeah, I watched that. I watched Brooklyn. I finally watched the rest of that. I've seen like the first act of it like a long time ago. It's a movie from like, I want to say it was for 2015. And it's like one of Saoirse Ronan's first movies. And she's in it, and it's about this Irish immigrant that comes over here, and
it's a real hard role for her.
Well, yeah, but so it's just kind of like this narrative of like having your foot in two worlds, I guess, like straddling two worlds and kind of like deciding where to be and what to do, and it's got a lot of charm to it. Although I'm starting to notice that there's a thing with Saoirse Ronan where she has like awkward sex with guys in movies. I'm noticing that this is a thing in general, where it's like, I think an entire generation of women had awkward first sexual encounters, and now it's just like in everything.
It's relatable.
I guess it is relatable, but like there are 3 separate Saoirse Ronan movies where she has sex with a guy, and I think in all 3 of them it's her first time having sex, and it's just super bad. Like, surely somebody out there gets like their world rocked the first time they do it.
Oh my god!
Or at least it's competent. But like in every movie I can see, or every TV show, as far back as I even care to remember, sort of things, these sort of things, it seems to me like it's just nope. Like it's just terrible. Like it's just this sex is just always bad. It's always like this thing where like the chick is anticipating it and like looking and romanticizing it, and then it's just always awful. Yeah, it's just always really bad, and it's like just kind of leaves me feeling like just are all these written by like really bitter women that have like never been fucked well? Maybe. It makes me really sad to think that there are that many women out there that just don't get fucked well, and that's just disappointing. But I feel like it's not accurate to reality, but I don't sleep with dudes, so I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's super accurate, and I just don't know.
We're watching, me and Chris Davis, we're watching clips of Big Daddy. Have you seen that movie?
Long time ago.
Yeah, where Adam Sandler's over at the girlfriend's house, like, look, I adopted a kid. Here's something in the bathroom. Hey, buddy, open up. Oh my God. I thought you were sleeping with my girl. I am. What? And he walks away. He's like, just imagining him on top of you, old wrinkly body with his old balls. Gross. He just fucking walks away.
You can't take her house. She's too old. I mean, just look at her. She's just too old. Yeah.
That's Happy Gilmore, isn't it?
Yeah. But it was old and Adam Sandler.
Your fingers hurt? Yeah. Oh. Do some yard duty then. Mista.
So yeah, Queen's Gambit's worth a watch. At least, unless it just
back on the Netflix wagon, or is that Amazon?
It's Netflix.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm back on the wagon, but I am looking forward to watching Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah.
And like it came out, and I told you about it, and then I forgot about it, and then I saw it again. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. We made some sort of plans to watch that.
Yeah. As tradition.
But yeah, I watched Queen's Gambit. Brooklyn's decent. Like a B. Pretty solid. I finished this season of his Dark Materials, which is decent as well.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is like when the first season was over, I was like, I don't know that I'm going to want to watch the second season.
On the fence.
I need to think about it for a bit. But then they put the second season out like fucking way faster than I thought they would. It did not take a year. It did not take a year for the second season to come out. It was like maybe 6 months between the end of the first season and the second season. And I was like, I mean, there was a possible that I didn't start watching the first season until it had already been out for a couple months or something, but it didn't seem very long. Like, as comparison, like
compared to like Westworld, Game of Thrones, where they have like a 2-year hiatus.
Yeah. Or even like shows that, like I've been wanting the new season of My Brilliant Friend to come out because I love that show. And nothing. It's fucking crickets. And I'm pretty sure that show ended before his Dark Materials ended. And there's still no I haven't even heard anything of when that's going to be out.
Yeah, it might be a little different because isn't that like they bought that from some production company out of Spain?
Italy. Yeah. And they're producing it in Italy and everything, so.
Yeah, Italy's not a great place to do stuff.
Yeah, but that's just possible. That's why. But the thing is it's like they need like they can't wait too long because they can't.
They have little kids in that series.
Not little, but like they're
seem pretty
teenage,
like tweens.
Yeah, initially, but like
they get older.
Yeah, they start off as like 5, 6, 7-year-olds, and then they have like they're tweens, and then they're like 12, 13 when they jump, and then they jump again. And the actresses are like I think 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there now.
Okay.
And I think
it's gonna be like a Stranger Things problem. Like I got so old.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, 11! Can you believe what's happening here in Hawkins? He's got like an electric razor. Quick, hop on the back of my bike. It's like, yeah, okay. It's like, yeah, that was. Then they're supposed to put the new season of that out, and I couldn't care less. Like,
yeah, it's not.
I'm fucking done.
There's no stakes.
Nope.
No stakes.
Like, Hopper's not dead. Like, oh yeah, I knew he wasn't dead.
Thanks.
And I was mad when you killed him, and then I knew you weren't going to kill him. Like, just get everybody to care about this guy. And they're like, oh, nope. He's dead. And pull the rug out from under you. It's like, yeah, okay. It's not even like one of those dumb shows like Supernatural or something where it's like maybe like went into the underworld, like got his soul back in some D&D quest kind of way or some shit. It was just like, oh no, he like jumped out at the last minute. It
would have been an interesting thing where something happened where he could reach out from the upside down. It's like, oh, maybe there's a chance. Like, no, he's just on Earth, locked up in some gulag.
Well, and that's the thing is, it's like he was dead. He very obviously was like, you see him like a half a second before the fucking explosion. He's just like, oh. It's like, yeah. It's like, okay, what happened then? You're gonna give me some fucking horseshit excuse for like why some Dexter-esque bullshit why it didn't work? Like, it's fucking stupid. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's all I watched this week. I feel like I watched some other movie, but it was unremarkable. Oh, but I did show my girlfriend Lethal Weapon this week.
Okay.
She likes 80s action movies. And again, like, I really like 80s action movies. And you go down the list of, like, the main ones. And she's like, I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
So you like the idea of 80s action movies.
Here's what I suspect it is. Because of the time warp lag between Romania and the U.S., Diana has a lot of like cultural things in common with me. So like she watched a lot of the movies that I watched when I was a kid because there's just like enough of a delay. Like we were talking about with The Good Son. She was like, oh, I remember watching this movie when I was like this kid's age. Or like she was talking about watching The Professional when she was like Natalie Portman's age. And I was like, yeah, I watched The Professional when I was like Natalie Portman's age too. And so I think what happened is she has a recollection of 80s action movies, in quotes, as this thing where she like sits around with her parents and like in her pajamas, like eating cereal. And she has like these vague ideas of like enjoying this, yeah, America, fuck yeah, kind of like things.
Yeah.
But she doesn't actually have any recall for any of it. It's just all an impression that she has, and she seeks to recapture that impression by watching the movies as an adult. So it's very possible that she saw some of these movies at some point, but just doesn't really remember what she was watching so much as it was just like cool stuff, the whole texture and theme of it. But yeah, she had never seen Lethal Weapon, so we watched Lethal Weapon last night, and that was good times. There's another movie that is a Christmas movie, by the way, in case you don't remember.
Oh, the first one?
Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie.
I barely remember the first one. The second one I do remember a lot.
With the German guys.
Yeah, and the third one.
With
Jet Li.
Isn't that the fourth one?
Oh, is it the fourth one?
Maybe it's the third one.
Oh.
The third one, I think the second one introduces Joe Pesci, and the third one introduces Chris Rock. Yeah, and then the fourth one I think has Jet Li and Rene Russo in it.
Oh. I thought Rene Russo was in the whole thing the whole time. No?
No, because in the first one, Riggs' wife has just died like a year ago or so.
Oh, he's living in that badass like trailer, but like it's too badass. Like that doesn't make any sense. How cool that
His trailer's not cool at all. It's like a dump.
I think I'm something else.
They make like fun of it in other movies, like in Loaded Weapon one. They make fun of it.
Oh, maybe that's why. That's what I was thinking.
And it's like Amelia Estevez because they make fun of it because she's like, it's really spacious in here.
Yeah,
a lot more spacious than it looks from the outside.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Damn, I got my wires crossed with that one.
That movie's good though. That's an underrated spoof. Loaded Weapon 1 is a very good spoof.
Yeah.
It's got Sam Jackson in it. Fucking what's his name? John Lovitz. He's pretty good in it. Man, that movie's funny as fuck.
Yeah, some of the spoof movies are pretty. Like Airplane was definitely like the best one.
Yeah,
but
Loaded Weapon 1's pretty good.
Yeah, those are.
It's got good. Tim Curry in it too.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, yeah. It's got a lot of good. Shatner is in it. Dennis Leary is in it.
Naked Guns were pretty good too.
Yeah, the Naked Gun.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Only the first one. I don't like.
I don't remember the third one. The second
33 and a half.
Yeah, 33 and a third.
Oh, third. There you go.
2.5 and 33 and a third. But yeah, I don't remember the third one at all. I just remember the first one and the second one. But yeah, so we watched Lethal Weapon. It's the one where it's got Gary Busey in it. And
okay.
They're bringing back heroin from Cambodia, from the war.
It's hard to like take Gary Busey seriously, even like looking at him like in his glory days. Like, this fucking crazy guy.
He's pretty crazy.
Yeah. There's a story of him where he dropped cocaine on his dog and he chased it around, trying to sniff it off the dog.
He's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and strangely enough, now that he's like all sober, he's like even crazier than he was before.
Yeah.
Because now it's almost like he's crazy and in a cult. He's like one of those like super like,
oh yeah,
you know, turn my life over to Jesus Christ. Like fucking creepy.
Well, he did have a head injury. That's why he's super crazy now.
I think he's always been kind of crazy.
Probably amped it up even more.
Maybe.
Yeah. And old age, that amps it even more.
I don't know.
It's like stacking abilities on the top of each other.
Well, just
I'm a level 10 crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely like all the crazy. But yeah, so yeah, he's in it. Who else is in it? I don't know. It's a good movie.
Are you gonna watch the second one with her?
I don't know. I feel like there's a dip in the second one. Although that chick that's his love interest in that movie is fine as fuck, man.
What's a good 80s movie? Predator? She saw Predator?
Predator we saw.
Terminator for sure.
Terminator and Terminator 2 we watched.
That's such a good reveal that she didn't know Arnold was
wait, what?
What?
Why is he oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a good reveal.
I know, it's nice to see it through her eyes. It was so good when I was a kid. If I had known that, rather. Yeah, we hit all the main ones. I thought I don't know. I just blanked out on Lethal Weapon for some reason. But yeah, Aliens, Die Hard, Terminator, Terminator 2, Predator. I feel like the last one I think on our list is First Blood. She's never seen that. We watched like the first 20 minutes of it or something one day here, which is arguably one of the best action movies because it actually has a lot of substance to it. It's like commentating on a lot of different things simultaneously. And, really good. That's a really good movie, but I don't think of it in the same vein as those other action movies. That
franchise took like the weirdest turn.
Yeah, well, because it becomes exactly what it's like the antithesis of. It's like not like. An Arnold like super.
It's like an Obi-Wan quote. It's like you're supposed to save everybody.
Commando. We haven't watched that, but I feel like that's getting into tier 2. Tier 2 would be like Commando, Red Heat.
Yeah.
There's another Arnold movie in there. Not Red Heat. What's the other one? I always mix it up with Red. I was like right around the same time as Red Heat.
What?
Fuck. Anyway, it'll come to me. It's an Arnold movie. It's in there somewhere, I'm sure.
Arnold.
Yeah. I've seen all the Arnold movies. It's funny, like I saw a thumbnail, or I watched the trailer for what was it? The Sixth Day or End of Days.
Sixth Day. Yeah.
One of those movies. came out being like, man, Arnold is getting old. And then now when I look at it now, I'm like, man, Arnold looks young there.
Yeah.
The time, but he's not.
No.
He's like, 40 or something,
That you?
Yes. But yeah, we'll have to get down to the tier 2. We did watch Twins. I think I told you that a while back.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. We watched Twins. Pretty good. It's like, yeah, because she was like, I want something like, kind of like lighthearted. I could go for something lighthearted or something like an 80s action movie. And I was like, oh, this is like both of those things. Like, here you go. She's like, oh, that's a good movie. I'm like, yeah.
How about watch something like the campy classics like Short Circuit? That'd be kind of fun to watch.
I don't know that I could stomach all the way through those, though.
Johnny Five is alive.
It's alive. I'm more of a fan of Short Circuit, too. I don't really remember Short Circuit. It's like the whole thing with you and Gremlins, too, and Gremlins. Like, I don't really remember Short Circuit hardly at all. I just remember Short Circuit, too.
Johnny Five with a bandana and a toolbox instead of a rocket launcher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I used to love those movies.
Oh, the second one I still maintain is like one of the best family movies. Oh. It's a very good. It's because it's a good movie for kids because he's a robot and he eschews violence. So he's like solves problems.
Yeah, he's built for destruction. Now he's a peaceful robot.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And so he's super friendly. He's super curious. He loves to read. Yeah. And he's really like nice to everybody. Yeah. So like he's a good like guy for kids to think is cool, and then in the end of the movie, like he's badass, He's got
Doesn't he have like earrings or something?
He's got like a mohawk and he's got like all the jewelry, he's all spray painted up.
Yeah.
His eyes all fucked up. And and there's like, we need a hero, and he's like just chasing after that Oscar guy.
Yeah.
I will not let you get away. I am really pissed off.
I need to watch that too.
Oh man, it's so good. I watched it with my buddy Matt. We lived in Ann Arbor, like just as a lark, and I was like, man, I still like that movie a lot. He's like, fucking hey, me too. I was like, yeah, that movie rules. That part where he's like digging out the thing. He's like, it's like just like digging into the vault. Oh, yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah, I can't think of any other camping movies like that I was really into.
Goonies.
I was gonna say Goonies kind of falls into that category. Yeah.
I want to rewatch Monster Squad, but I'm afraid that it's not gonna hold up.
I'm afraid. Yeah, me too. Yeah, but mostly I think it was just because it was like all the monsters. Wolfman has an arse. Yeah, whatever, But I feel like it'll watch like a cereal commercial or something if I watch it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it'll be really disappointing. Like watching Thundercats as an adult. You ever do that?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that reminds me. Did you see that HBO just put up Batman the Animated Series?
Oh, that's going to be good.
Yeah. I haven't got into it. I just noticed last night. I was like, oh, yeah, they got like all this. I'm like, there's only 3 seasons of this show. And then I was going through like season 1. I'm like, oh, that's because there's like 65 episodes in season 1.
And I'm surprised how short the episodes are without commercials.
They're 22 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, which makes it even more impressive. They remember just like cram a plot in there.
There's like, barely a plot.
Yeah.
Someone's doing something bad. I gotta fix it.
Hey, man, there's some good episodes of that show which are like... Do you remember the one where like Bruce gets captured and forgets who he is?
Oh, and it's like the shadow or something like that. Like the original Batman voices him.
Michael Keaton?
No.
Adam West.
Adam West.
You're talking about the Phantasm?
No. Is it? I thought it was the Shadow. I thought that character's name's the Shadow.
Maybe, I don't know. No, but this has not. It's not like he just gets amnesia from something.
Oh, okay.
And then he ends up like in this like Cool Hand Luke style like work camp.
Oh,
like,
really?
You don't remember this episode?
No, I don't remember that one.
It's pretty good actually, but there's like no Batman action in it.
Oh, wow.
It's like Bruce Wayne does not remember who he is, and he just like wakes up and he's in some like basically like a slave camp that like some kingpin is like keeping, and then so it's just all about like his interactions with like the prisoners and like fighting the man and like rallying the prisoners to like see like for their freedom and like this and that, and then by the end of the episode
he's like, I'm rich as fuck.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that is like one of the things like he remembers who he is, and I mean he Batman's out for like the last 2 minutes of the episode, fuck some people up.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, Batman. But then he remembers who he is, and then one of the guys that was like his buddy who like helped him out of a pinch or whatever, he's like, oh my god, like you're Bruce Wayne. He's like, yeah, he's like, hey, like we might have a place for you at like Wayne Enterprises or whatever. It's like, come on down and just like ask for me, like give you a job or whatever. And it's like, and that's the end of the episode. It's like, but like very little Batman action, but like a really good episode. And so they did that every now and again. Like they.
Yeah, I remember like the Ra's al Ghul stuff, where I find it kind of funny where he's like shirtless, but he has the cowl on. Yeah, riding a horse. I'm like, what is going on? Because it's like the Ra's al Ghul stuff is like a mixture between like some Batman and a lot of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and just like there's the one with the dude who is like a ninja. And like so there's some of that, and it's like part Batman, part Ninja Turtles almost. Like there's like this ninja rival guy that like is Batman's rival.
Yeah. From like, when he trained in Japan or whatever.
Yeah. And, so there's that, and like there's a lot of different, like the one with one of the face guy, and he's like the actor, and it's all about like shattered dreams and the bitterness of like, there's like a lot going on in a lot of those episodes. Like, I'm definitely gonna watch some of them. And strangely enough, the ones that are like less interesting are the ones with the more iconic Batman villains, like the ones with like the Penguin and the Joker. Like those ones are fun and they're cool, but they're just like, like Riddler, Penguin, Joker. Like those episodes don't really have a lot like going on because they
Mr. Freeze storyline was pretty cool.
Yeah,
they really get into the character of Mr. Freeze, of like him trying to revive his wife, and
and just the animation and his fucking voice on that character is like just exactly what you always wanted Mr. Freeze to be. I remember watching the like 60s Batman and be like, that's not what fucking Mr. Freeze is like. That's stupid. Right? And then the cartoon came out and I was like, that's fucking Mr. Freeze, right?
Arnie, everybody freeze.
Everybody freeze. Yeah, it's just so dumb. It's like, but the Mr. Freeze in that is like awesome. Right? Like he's like perfect. It's like the Wolverine voice from the X-Men cartoon. Like the guy who voices him is like, that's exactly what I thought Wolverine sounded like.
Oh yeah,
like to a T, like right on the fucking money.
Right? Not the first one though.
What's that?
The first one, he's Australian.
Oh, in the old Spider-Man split episode thing.
Like, we talked about this before.
It's like, blimey, like what are we gonna do about Magneto?
Fucking Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, and he's Australian, but he doesn't do. But he doesn't have the voice.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got like the mannerisms of the demeanor, but that guy's gravelly as like soaked in bourbon and gravel for like 30 years voice, like halfway between like Tom Waits and George C. Scott or some shit. Like, that's the kind of voice that Wolverine should have.
So that was good.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to
that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. So let's go to other recommendations.
I like turtles.
So I did like a whole hearing the news about MF Doom, I did a little bit of a YouTube rabbit hole, and then it led me to I'm bringing up the title of this.
Pornhub. Ended up on Pornhub.
Mad Villain. Okay.
Sasha Grey's greatest hits. Watch this. Why not?
So someone did a lyrical breakdown of Aesop Rock's "None Shall Pass." And it's like a kind of kinetic font where it's like all the fonts all moving, and he's doing like a breakdown of one song, and it's pretty good. It's by Polyphonic. I'll link it in the show notes. It's like how dense his lyrics are, and there's like a ton of like breakdown videos of Aesop Rock's music in general.
Oh yeah, like I don't know that song, but like it's just like, oh yeah, like when it comes to like lyrical complexity and like breadth of vocabulary and denseness of lyrics, like that guy just wins all of the just wins it all.
Yeah, because they had like a few years back they had someone did the breakdown of like rap artists with the largest vocabulary.
Oh yeah.
Aesop Rock was like miles ahead of the next part. I think it was like the Jizza from Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
I think the bottom of the barrel's DMX.
DMX?
Yeah.
It's like, and nigga. Like, those are the three words he uses a lot. Yeah.
So, that's a pretty good breakdown. There's a few other ones where some guys take like 20 minutes to break down one song. I'm like, oh, I didn't know this was like a whole industry unto itself to just break down A$AP Rock lyrics.
That's not surprising. It's like people do that shit for like film, right? You just like one scene of Persona can be a fucking 20-minute video of like you know 5 minutes of the movie Persona, like just breaking down what's happening visually and like what's happening with all sorts of other stuff. And so it's not surprising that like if you can appreciate like the lyrical complexity of something, like you could probably do. It doesn't need to be rap. You could do this with Bob Dylan lyrics too. That's why I like Bob Dylan a lot. It's like you could just break down Bob Dylan lyrics, and there's just like layers upon layers upon layers of like things happening. Usually, like especially like certain songs like "Subterranean Homesick Blues." You know that song?
It's I don't really listen to Bob Dylan.
It's like a super fast-paced song. Sure.
Like a Rolling Stone.
No, it's the one that started. Johnny's in the basement cooking up the medicine. I'm on the pavement thinking about the government.
Oh yeah, I know that song.
Right. Yeah. So there's like you can break down that song, which is only like 2 minutes or something like that, and just like it's all like allegorical and like a sign of the times and everything like that. It's the video with him and the cards, and he's just tossing them to the side or whatever. He got like things on him. So yeah, I have no doubt that like especially in the world of rap where most of it is DMX style, like. Word G, like that's like okay, and then someone comes along who's like smart and like
I read books,
thoughtfully like craft stuff together. It's like because usually that you're that way, you don't go into rap music, but some people do. So
and this is a good mixer between like kind of showing how dense is like all the lyrical, all the books that he reads, like how mega big brained he is, and to make it listenable, like. You can follow along with the song. It has a beat, has a rhythm, has a rhyme structure that makes sense for the song. So, yeah, it just shows you how good of an artist this dude is.
Yeah. That's here, I'm looking up the lyrics to Subterranean Homesick Blues. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite Bob Dylan songs. One of my favorite songs, period. But yeah, I mean, it's just like super fast, like really fast paced. Here, so it's just so it's Johnny's in the basement mixing up the medicine. I'm on the pavement thinking about the government. The man in the trench coat, badge out, laid off, said he's got a bad cough, wants to get it paid off. Look out, kid, it's something you did. God knows when, but you're doing it again. You better duck down the alleyway looking for a new friend. The man in the coonskip wants $11 bills. You only got 10. So it's like Maggie comes fleet-foot, face full of black soot, talking on the heat, put plants in the bed, but phones tapped anyway. Maggie says that many say they must bust in early May. Orders from the DA. Look out, kid, don't matter what you did. Walk on your tiptoes, don't tie no bows. Better stay away from those that carry around a fire hose. Keep a clean nose, watch the plane close. You don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows. Get sick, get well. Hang around the inkwell, hang bail, hard to tell if anything is gonna sell. Try hard, get barred, get back, ride rail. Get jumped, jump bail, join the army if you fail. Look out, kid, you're gonna get hit by losers, cheaters, hang around the theaters, girl by the whirlpools looking for a new fool. Don't follow leaders, watch the parking meters. Oh, get born, keep warm, short pants, romance. Learn to dance, get dressed, get blessed, try to be a success. Please her, please him, buy gifts, don't steal, don't lift. 20 years of schooling and they put you on the day shift. Look out, kid, they keep it all hid. Better jump down a manhole, light yourself a candle. Don't wear sandals, try to avoid scandals. Don't want to be a bum, you better chew gum. The pump don't work. The pump don't work because the vandals took the handles. It just like sounds like a bunch of gibberish, but you're like, no, that all makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like that level of lyrical density is like the only hip hop artist I can think that has that level of lyrical density is A$AP Rock. Like I'm sure there are others. I'm not terribly well versed in this arena.
Yeah.
But yeah, and surprisingly, like I think that's why Wu-Tang enjoys such good fanfare. Is Wu-Tang has like some of that, like super deep lyrics that like, but then it's also got some of that like DMX like
yeah, old dirty bastards and like older records. So it's like, it kind of evens itself out.
Yeah, it does. It's like it's like same reason that some of the D12 like the first couple of albums by D12, like Eminem. It's like you got some stuff on there that's like really good, like lyrically, and then you got like the Bizarre, who's like the worst rapper ever, but like hilarious. It's like we could call it Bizarre Cemetery. It's scary. It's
like yeah, that's dope. We'll record that.
Bizarre.
Is he like the Ringo of the Beatles?
I don't know what he is. He sounds like he's borderline retarded. He's just and he looks exactly like you would expect a guy like that to look.
Yeah. There's no mistaking of like you hear him and you see him like I know who that guy
like
is.
That. I know which one that is. Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Have an itch to watch. Again, I was like seeing like small clips of Kill Bill and Kill Bill 2. I was like, ooh, I need to watch those movies again.
My old lady watched them like last year, but she watched them. I started watching or maybe I watched the first one with her, or started watching the first one with her, and then she finished it and then watched the second one without me.
I feel that she would probably like the second one more than the first one.
I think I don't remember where she landed on that because it's basically like two schools of thought. The second one has more substance.
Yes.
But the first one is like more kitschy.
Yes. There's
more like just weird things with the anime and the black and white and the crazy 88 and the just there's more like visually kitschy things. Yeah. And then the second one is like, now let's get on with the plot and actually make things happen. So I don't remember where she landed on that. I want to say she probably did like the second one more, but like I agree with her why I don't like it as much as a lot of people. Is it's like I just thought it was just a big
Tarantino, you watch movies, we get it.
No, it was a cop out at the end where it's just like, oh, her daughter's not dead. And it's like,
that was a big cop out. I didn't really think that.
Well, and she was like, it was like, oh, so she was like, so let me get this straight. Like, all he did is just like break her heart. And she was like, Diana was like, what I thought was going to happen is that she was going to go through this whole thing and then she was going to like get her memories back and remember that she actually is like the bad guy in this situation where she like actually fucked all of them over. And I was like, wow, that would have been like a much better plot. Like that would have been way cooler than what actually happened. So I was disappointed. I just kind of thought there was going to be some bigger thing to it. And
you think he really wanted to tie in that whole Superman allegory? Like...
I don't know. I don't like.
That's what he really wanted.
It felt like it just kind of like trailed off at the end. They kind of started getting down to the culmination of the plot, and he kind of was like, "Yeah, like whatever." And so, and she wasn't dead after all. Yay!
Yeah, the lead up to it, like talking to the main pimp about Bill as a kid and all that stuff, and that was like very interesting backdrop to who Bill was like at a younger age. And then kind of the mystery of like what he did to like get revenge back on him.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of cool stuff in both of those movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. I also feel like I kind of like just. I remember when it came out, and like everybody I knew went to see it, and they were just like, "Oh my gosh, so good!" And I was like, "Man, all right, I'm like, I can't go see it in the theater now." And they were like, well, why not? I'm like, because everybody I know like just raped my ear about it for like a week, telling me like now if I go in and see it and it's not like the fucking Godfather's like it looks like shit by comparison, like I'm gonna be let down. And like one dude had the audacity to be like, yeah, you should think that, like you should feel that way. And I was like, that is just you're just setting my expectations too fucking high. Like,
did I tell you the story about like not wanting to see Kill Bill at first, because it was during like was it Charlie's Angels, like was it a couple years before Kill Bill?
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, so in the theaters watching the preview with an ex-girlfriend at girlfriend at the time, it's like, oh my god, we need to see this, and it looked like a Charlie's Angels movie. Like, I don't know, maybe. And I was like, oh, Tarantino made it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're definitely watching this.
Well, it's like I told you I didn't want to watch Jurassic Park when I was a kid, didn't I?
Why?
Because I was like, meh, it's not Godzilla.
Oh.
It's like, it's not Godzilla. It's like everything compared to Godzilla just seems kind of cute. Like, why would I want to bother with this Mickey Mouse bullshit? Then it came to the 99-cent movie theater, and we all went like as a family, me and my dad and my brother Jason and my dad's old lady Amanda and her younger brother Sean. So we all went because it was like a 99-cent movie theater movie. We could all go see a movie for like $10 or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I came out, oh, it was pretty good.
It was all right.
It was pretty good. And then Godzilla 98 came out, and I was severely disappointed.
Yeah.
Mainly because it was just Jurassic Park all over again. Do you remember the back half of that movie? The one with Matthew Broderick?
Yeah, they can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think everybody kind of forgets that, like, the big Godzilla dies, like, in the middle of the second act.
Oh, and the eggs, right?
Yeah, and they're basically little Godzillas, which is basically just like the raptors chasing everybody.
Yeah, I do remember this.
It's the same fucking thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like a little Godzilla. It's like, no, you're missing the point of why Godzilla's awesome. Like, he was like, and they were like, oh, we'll drop some bombs on him, and then they dropped some bombs, and he was like, and I was like, what? That is. You don't do that. You go to drop bombs on Godzilla, and then he eats the helicopter and like throws it at something else. Like, that's how that's supposed to play out, right? It's not supposed to be like, oh no, right? Like, he's dead because we just mobilized a couple of planes. Yeah. It irritated me. Although I still think I went on the sneak preview, like, because I was so amped on fucking Godzilla. So me and Kurt went on the sneak preview. And you went and they gave you like a one of the, like, it was like a negative of like a still of the movie.
Oh. And
it came this little thing, it's like Godzilla on it, like slid out, and it was like this negative with a frame of like his fucking foot or whatever. I think I still have it somewhere at home.
Oh, dope.
It's pretty cool. I'll show it to you if I ever find it. I'm sure it's like all faded by now, but like that was what, 98, so it was fucking 20 some years ago.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
But yeah, we were so hyped to go see that movie too. I was like so let down. I was like, oh, Jurassic Park was better.
I'm trying to think of a movie I was like majorly disappointed after watching it. It's probably like the last Star Wars. I was like, dude, this is bad.
Yeah, but see, majorly disappointed. Expectations were up here.
I'm trying to think. Yeah,
and it fell.
Yeah, I was like, because the Last Jedi was pretty good.
The Transporter, that was
for you.
That was a severe disappointment.
Yeah.
That was a severe disappointment. Silence was a severe disappointment. Queen of the Damned was a severe disappointment.
Okay. Interstellar was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, see, I didn't get all hyped on that at the time. And then everyone kind of trashed it, and then I kind of saw it after the fact. I'm like, this is a pretty good movie. Why doesn't anyone like it? Like, Insomnia is still on HBO too. I keep pondering whether I should watch it. So I had no idea it was Christopher Nolan at the time.
Okay.
I was like, I saw it. I was like, that movie's fucking terrible.
Movies I was pleasantly surprised was Mad Max Fury Road. I wasn't really too hyped to watch that movie. My brother really wanted to see it. I was like, I'll take it.
I was excited to see it, but I tried to keep my expectations low.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna, like, if this just scratches the Mad Max itch, I'll be happy.
Like that first 15 minutes, I was like, I don't know, because I'm not really a big Mad Max fan to begin with. Like,
really, I was kind of in like from like the first like few minutes.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be all weird, like the whole like him hallucinating Max.
Yeah, that was a little bit of that. But
yeah, it was a little too much, and it was like when he became the blood bag, I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised by Galaxy Quest.
Oh yeah.
Fight Club surprised me. I did not think Fight Club would really be anything.
Oh yeah. There was no hype at the time for you?
I don't remember there being hype.
Yeah, I don't think I watched that in theaters.
See, this is the thing is like, so this guy I knew in high school, he fucking watches everything. Like, I can't even think of a fucking movie that I could think of that he hasn't seen. Like, he's just seen every fucking movie possible. It's like all he does is watch movies. He's like one of those guys that like people like, oh yeah, press pass, you know a lot about movies. Like, no, this guy can tell you who the fucking key grip on Happy Feet was.
Oh, is this the movie guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he went and saw it when we were in high school, and he came and reported back, and he was like, "You guys all need to go see this fucking movie."
Like, oh.
And so we all went, "Oh yeah, I'm fucking hyped on that, right?" But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by that. I'm trying to think of another movie that I was pleasantly surprised by. I was pretty surprised. I thought it would just be kind of like a paint by numbers sci-fi, and I guess it kind of was, but it was good.
That was one of the movies where the hype, it lived up to the hype. People were like, it's a pretty good movie. I was like, I'll be the judge of this.
I saw it opening day, so I hadn't heard anything about it. Okay. The only thing I knew about it was that the guy that wrote Sunshine and 28 Days Later in the Beach was directing it. And I was like, all right, it's his first effort, so like I like his writing, and so he's writing and directing it. It can't be that bad. And I was like, oh, like I was expecting it to be like a 6, and it was like an 8.5. So I was like, well, that's pretty good. Yeah. And then he's moved on since then. I still haven't watched Devs though. You guys like Devs?
Yeah.
Devs pretty good.
Did you hear about Devs?
I'm trying to think of other movies that I was like pleasantly surprised by. Galaxy Quest is definitely close to the top of my list. Yeah. I didn't see that for like years after until it was out for years.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's fucking Trekkie bullshit.
Yeah.
And then
it ended up being like one of the best Star Trek movies ever.
It probably is the best Star Trek movie. Well, there's Wrath of Khan.
Khan! That was really good.
Khan is good.
Yeah, it's surprising that you get Star Trek the motion picture.
That's so bad.
And you get that movie out of that? That's fucking crazy. That's the biggest turnaround. And then they had to do like the search for Spock. I was like, okay, you guys don't know what you're doing. You just like accidentally like made a good movie.
Made Wrath of Khan really awesome, yeah.
Yeah. Search for Spock was so bad.
I don't think it was as bad as the one with the whales.
I haven't watched that in a long time. Motion picture is probably the worst one.
The one with the whales is pretty bad.
A computer.
Magic whales. Dude, that's all I got to say. I was not a fan. I liked Undiscovered Country. Okay, it was like the 6th one or something like that. That one was pretty decent.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All the even movies.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You have to respect your actors. Like for instance, when I just directed Star Trek 4, I got a great performance out of Bill because I respected him as an actor. That's right. Thank you, Leonard. And when I directed Star Trek 6, I got a great performance out of me because I respect me so much. Yeah, I'm trying to think of another. Like, there's got to be other movies, but like, yeah, Galaxy Quest jumps out, Ex Machina jumps out. But yeah.
Logan. I try to keep it low key. Like I didn't want to hype it up too much. Like, Logan's pretty good.
Yeah. I just like had so much trepidation that they were just going to ruin something that I love so much. But yeah. That movie doesn't get enough love.
Oh, for sure.
It doesn't get enough love at all.
Was there something during that year that just like hype trained that thing?
It was the same year.
Same year as Mad Max, wasn't it? No,
it was after.
Oh,
it was the same year as Blade Runner.
No, is it?
It was the same year as Blade Runner 2049. Yeah. Talking about at the end of the year.
Huh?
We were like, what was it about? And I was like, I would say it was like a runaway for Logan, but like Blade Runner was pretty fucking good.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah, it was the same year.
2018?
17 or 18, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that movie was good.
Blade Runner. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Both those movies are great.
I was more pleasantly surprised by the new Blade Runner than I was.
Well, it was like the cards were stacked against that movie, right? Making a sequel decades after the original film. Like, what can you do with that? Like, there's not a lot of examples of that happening at all.
Well, there's plenty of examples of it happening, but they're always garbage.
Like a good example, like something to pull it off like that.
I can't think of a single movie that has more of a 5-year gap in sequels that is worth a shit.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to say that it stands up on its own as a movie, but because it's like built upon the first Blade Runner.
Yeah, but
that movie alone is awesome.
It stands alone, I think. I don't think you need any context from the previous movie. Not really. It helps and it informs the film, but it doesn't. I don't think it's necessary.
No, you definitely need to see the first Blade Runner because there's no real ties of like seeing Harrison Ford, seeing the girl get shot in the head. Like, you're not anchored to anything. Like, who gives a shit? Yeah. I don't know who this is.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, his whole narrative.
And the whole question is like, is he not? I don't know. I just love that they didn't answer that question. That was awesome.
I just hope they don't make any more of them. I hope they're just done. That's it. but they just don't, because they will ruin it if they make another one. Like that's it. They'll ruin it. Like it won't be good.
Yeah, I don't think he has any initial. Did he say? I don't know. I have no idea.
Did who say?
The director.
Oh.
Or he just moved on to Dune, right?
Dune, yeah.
So it was like, I got what I wanted.
And they're doing 2 of those.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Coming to HBO Max. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you see the stills for King Kong versus Godzilla? I guess they made them like almost the same size.
Well, they just made King Kong a lot bigger.
I think so. Like the King Kong movie, like the most recent one, he's pretty big. He's like
not relative to the scale of Godzilla big.
I think he's like as big as like the first Godzilla, maybe. Like the Japanese one. No?
No, dude. King Kong's like 50 maybe 100 feet. Like even in the 80s one where he's big, he still has to climb. Think about this. He still has to climb up the Empire State Building in any iteration of King Kong. Godzilla towers over the Empire State Building. Like it's like waist high on him. And how tall is the Empire State Building? Godzilla's like 1,000 feet tall or something ridiculously huge like that.
That's like the dumbest matchup ever.
Yeah. It's like it just doesn't make any sense. Like it's just serious like finagling to try to get that to work.
I don't know why anybody wants that. Who wants this?
Because they're too. It's the same reason that everybody wanted Freddy and Jason to fight each other. Because they were too independently, like developed, like scary guys, right? So it's like, you know that anybody that comes from the world of Godzilla, like any kaiju from Godzilla's world, like Godzilla is the king of monsters. So like, there's not going to be any dramatic tension there about what fucking happens. Yeah. Right? Godzilla's king of monsters. This guy exists in Godzilla's world. He loses, right?
Yeah, because he's king of the monsters.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's like you have to have something else, and they've never made any other like well-known like I wouldn't even fucking call King Kong a kaiju. Like
he's not. He's just a really big ape.
Yeah, he's just a really big ape.
He's the greatest ape.
Yeah, he's just like Mighty Joe Young's uncle. Yeah. Right. Fucking stupid.
That Mighty Joe Young movie's stupid.
It's very stupid. I watched it.
Remember Congo?
What's that?
Congo?
Oh yeah, that came out right around the same time as Jurassic Park because they were
hungry.
Yeah, they were like, oh, Michael Crichton, like this guy. And then you're like, no, not that guy. It was like it's that one movie that he made that was cool. Everything else is apparently. I don't even remember the premise of that movie, just that it was dumb.
Something about minerals in the Congo. They bring a ape with them. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, I just remember it being like, it kind of had like the guy that made Westworld and Jurassic Park. He made something else.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a big gap between Westworld and Jurassic Park, though. The Westworld movie is not good.
No, it's not.
It's not good.
Glad they made it in their show.
Yeah, there's one of the things that we were talking about earlier. Like, how did they like decide we're gonna take this fucking shitty movie and turn it into a TV show, and it will be awesome? Yeah,
I don't know. Well, you got the Nolans. They're like, we'll just make it smart.
We'll just let's just see if there's something we can't do. Let's just see if we can. Speaking of which, did you see that they have? I was looking on HBO, and apparently. God, fuck, now it just floated out of my head. They made something into a TV show that was like a movie. And I had no fucking idea. Fuck. Alright, I'm spazzing out. I don't remember. I was like, what is this? This is like, I don't remember the like thumbnail or whatever for this movie looking this way. And then I like clicked on it and it was like a whole series. Fuck, it's bugging me now. Anyway, moving on, because I won't remember. It'll just be dead air while I sit here and just fumble around trying to remember what it was. But
yep. Well, an interesting thing that the UFC does, they put on like some of the greatest fights of 2020 on to YouTube. And it was great to watch some of that stuff. And then now there's like there's gonna be a triple header of great fights coming up in the next week. They got Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar. The return of
the Mac.
Yeah.
The Jedi.
No.
The King.
Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier, number 2. And I think there's who's the third fight? But anyway, it's going to be, if you're a fan of MMA, it's going to be a great week of fights.
Nice.
Yeah, too bad you're not that big of a fan.
I'm not a big fan at all. I'm like, dip my toe into MMA, like when it's on.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like rely on you to do the homework and tell me why it's an important fight or why this guy's like a good guy or whatever. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, this is like the best time to be an MMA fan. Like this 2020 was a great year of fights. There's a lot of like contenders for fight of the year. A lot of the women's fights were, I would say, probably up there for fight of the year.
Just going balls out.
Oh yeah.
Or
it was like
tits out or whatever it is for chicks.
Yeah. Yeah, so excited for that for the next week. I think it's next week they're gonna have all those fights coming up, or pretty much lined up. So
just like blocking them off,
yeah, one's gonna happen on Thursday, one's gonna happen on Saturday, and then one's gonna happen on the following weekend.
So I do this every year. I could just catch up on MMA at the end of the year or beginning of the year. Just be like, I watched all the good fights. I don't have to wade through all the crap.
But here's the thing with the like UFC in general, they always put on good fights. Like the cards are usually pretty good. Like the fight nights are probably the best because like it's young up and coming fighters. Some of them aren't ranked and they just go balls to the wall.
I don't know. I've watched some fights that just are not terribly engaging, but I'm not like. I would imagine it's a lot like watching neutral zone trap hockey in the late 90s for people. Yeah, it's like. Yeah, it's boring, right?
It's like the equivalent of soccer when some guy kicks it out of the zone, everyone starts fucking cheering. Like, what just happened?
Yeah, you got to pay really close attention. To that.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes I'll watch MMA. I was like, what? They're just dry humping each other on the fucking mat for like the whole round.
Yeah, usually, but I'm talking about like the card as a whole. It's pretty good. It's generally pretty entertaining.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just be like, I'll just be done with this fight. Like, I want the next fight to happen. These guys are tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Yeah, boxing is usually like the undercards are just like, man, every now and again you get one that's just like, whoa, that was a good fight. Mm-hmm. But generally speaking, it's like this guy that you know who he is, and then this other guy who has a record.
Yeah.
He's here.
Tomato can.
Wants some money.
Yeah. I just need to feed my family.
I think it's a lot what it is. It's just like they're more feeder fish. Mm-hmm. They just kind of come along. You have like the big main card, and it just kind of like drags all these little feeder fish along with them.
Yeah, journeyman.
Like, you just tack them onto that like card so they can get some money.
Yeah,
and, like,
fill it out. And
there's not as many. There's plenty of more dead weight in boxing where like guys who just aren't really. Like I'm gonna climb the ladder and like be the greatest. It's like,
yeah,
like,
I believe that. Yeah,
I just want to make some money, and if I can make some money doing it, then that's great. It's better than pushing papers.
Yeah,
but there's more MMA, like probably because there's not as much, like the aggregate amount of people that are in MMA, the fighters, is significantly less than it is in boxing, still. And so there probably feels like there can be, and there's fewer weight divisions. They probably feel like there's more mobility and they can like strive for more and like reach for the stars. And also there's probably more, with the exception of a few people who are kind of like solidly the champions, there's probably more turnover in the crowns for the weight divisions, I would imagine.
Certain divisions, yes, but there's been pretty solid like champions like been holding the belt for a while.
Yeah, and a couple of them, right?
Yeah. And then some of them are like some of the champions are really young, so I kind of don't see any next couple years.
Yeah, so it's like when fucking Klitschko won the heavyweight division. Mm-hmm. Like that ruined the heavyweight division because he won the heavyweight division. And he was just such a fucking juggernaut that it was like, it seemed to actively discourage heavyweight fighters from like coming up. Mm-hmm. They're like, no, because at the end of the road is having to fight that guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna give it another 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm 19 now. he's 28 now, so
Beat
like
the brakes off of me.
I'm just gonna like wait. Like I'm probably not gonna make my way up to the rank like where he's long in the tooth. So I'm just gonna wait for a few years and then maybe get into the heavyweight. Because when that's the top of the mountain, like why would you ever have an incentive to try to go after that? Because he's just so much more talented than everyone else at the time. You know, and that was, you know, just kind of how it was for a long time because he was fucking champ for like a decade, and so it was like,
yeah, it made it boring.
Yeah,
yeah,
especially because he's just really a super tactical fighter. You know, he's not like a knockout king or whatever. He's just like, like I'm bigger than you, and
check out this jab.
Yep. You fucking jab like a sledgehammer to the face, and like just pump that to your head a few dozen times, and you'll back off, and then I'll just beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I forgot what analyst was saying this, but they were like, there's no real interest in boxing right now because there's no American heavyweight champion. Like the Americans just like don't care about boxing unless there's like an American heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
It's like, these tiny guys, who cares?
Anthony Joshua's American, right? Isn't he American?
Oh, hey.
Hey there, buddy.
Whoa. Getting tased there. Yeah, we gotta switch mics. Okay, I guess that's a sign for us.
All right.
All
it's
right.
a sign of the I gotta hold it, apparently. If I hold it, it works. I let go.
Check. 1, 2. All right. Any more Rex?
No, I think that's it. That's I don't know. Smoke one of these cigars, but no, you can't because you can't find them. So,
smoke the Padron Damaso. It's excellent.
Yeah, we already talk about that.
Yeah, that's my recommendation for a cigar. And the video I'll link down below in the show notes.
Video of what? Oh, the video that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a video of you smoking the cigar? Yeah. Pretty fucking good.
It's like a time lapse.
One of those boomerang videos.
Yeah. I fucking hate those videos, dude.
I'm not into them either.
No.
But whatever.
Did you like that meme I sent you with the monolith?
I didn't know what I was looking at. Like, what the hell is that?
I don't know. It's so weird. I was like, I'll just send it to the press pass.
Yeah, it was funny. I was like, where's this going? I was like, what?
Yeah. I'll put it up here. Wait, no, maybe I can't because it's a Instagram video.
Oh, yeah, well,
whatever.
Well, it's Trump.
Yeah,
and he's in the monolith.
Yeah, dancing.
It comes out. It's got some swagger.
Yeah. Got that swag. Got the moves like Jagger.
You know, they really missed an opportunity. So, like,
what?
When that song was popular, I remember they had my ex bought a shirt that was like the silhouette of Pavel Datsuk. And it's the shirt said, I got the moves like Datsuk. And I was like, you know, more analogous to the song would have been Yager. I got the moves like Yager.
Yeah.
Right? And he's more of a legend than Datsuk will ever fucking be.
Yeah.
And so, not that I'm shitting on Pavel Datsuk. He's a really good player, but like, fucking Yager's like arguably the best player outside of Wayne Gretzky, like ever. Like he's certainly in that conversation.
He's been around for a long time.
He still fucking plays.
Yeah.
Like he played in the fucking NHL when he was 50 years old.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
And finished like in the top 10% of the league in scoring. That's fucking unheard of.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like I was like, man, that song was popular. I was like, I would like. She was like, you don't think it's cool, like the Datsuk? I'm like, if it was a Yager shirt, I'd be all over it. So the moves like Yager, like fucking Yager silhouette. I'd be like, fuck yeah. They missed out. Datsuk. Yeah, okay.
You can make that shirt.
Good. Well, I can't because I don't have screen printing capabilities.
Well, you can just get on a t-shirt company to make it.
I could, yeah. I have to design the logo, which I don't know how to do that either. So,
okay.
But maybe we'll see. Find it out.
All right. That does it for this week. Stay funky, bros. Whoa.
Thanks for listening to Mikey and the Press Pass podcast. Consider subscribing. You can rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and pretty much anywhere where you can listen to podcasts. And you can also write us with any ideas, suggestions, or horrible burning criticism at mikeyandthepresspass@gmail.com. Thank you.